Hello everyone and welcome back to SIG Blender. In the previous tutorial we made these cloud looking things. They didn't actually turn out that good now that I'm looking at them, but we can always go back to work on them later. In this tutorial we're going to be making a whole person, which may seem a little overwhelming, and it kind of is, but I think we can do it. We've had a lot of good modeling experience so far, mostly with the umbrella. And I always forget to turn on screencast before I start these, so I have to do it while recording. Okay. Let's see. I almost forgot to close Steam. It's tragic. Sweet. Now we can actually start. So, we have a lot of stuff on the screen right now. 13,000 faces. So I'm just going to, for the sake of modeling the person, I want complete focus. So I'm going to hit A to select everything, and H to hide it. So now it's all gone, and we're back to square one. If we hit A and Alt H, it'll bring it all back, but we don't want to do that, because we're going to have a clean slate for this person. Alright, this is definitely going to be the hardest tutorial for me to film, because this is a long process. So if I'm ever, I don't know, silent, it's because I'm thinking about what the human body looks like, which is always a very perplexing question. Anyway, we're going to start with a cube, rename it to be person, jump right into edit mode, and let's see, hit W, subdivide, nope, not subdivide, subdivide, oh, smooth, this will be the beginning of the head. We're going to go Control-Alt-Q to see our four faces, Z to look into wireframe, and we're going to cut off the left side of the face, because humans have that kind of symmetry, I think. I don't think there's anything where I have on my left I don't have on my right, so. There we go. Alright, so let's see. What I'm thinking for this is that, like, this kind of extrusion here can be like the nose, but you don't have a nose on the other side of your face. So I'm gonna just bring that, also I'm gonna turn on clipping. Bring that right in. Okay, so now you can see on one side, got the nose thing pointing out, on the other side, we don't. Sweet. That's basically all I want to do for the face. Moving on to the neck. We're gonna create some edge loops here. Like that. I'm gonna make sure that one didn't move at all. Okay. Gonna extrude these straight down the Z. Actually, that doesn't look that bad if I drag them down with. Alright, and then we're gonna scale the Z to be 0, so it's flat. Now, which part's the face again? That's the face. So we'll pull this back a bit, make it neck-like. Yeah, just that line actually. Oh, not what I did there. GY. There we go. Take this point, maybe bring it down a bit. Okay. Necks. What do necks look like? Chin kind of goes up, right? A little bit. Oh, this is gonna be a process. Making faces is always is a struggle for me, because I cannot wrap my head around what a face looks like. I'm just gonna be tweaking. I'm basically tweaking just to see what'll look good, see if that looks good. I think that looks pretty good, so we'll keep going with that. I'm going to delete these two faces on the bottom, because they'll get confusing. We don't need them. Alright, shoulder time. I'm going to select one line, and then go to select edge loops, and then I'll select the whole loop. Extrude that down a bit. Scale it in the X. Oh yeah. Scale it in the Y. I think I'm going to bring all of these faces up a bit just to make a shorter neck. Alright, neck shortening process complete. We'll keep going with the whole shoulder biz. Let's see, how do shoulders work? I guess like don't want to make it as wide because humans are kind of lanky. Extrude down again, scale out. Cool. Actually, so this will be where the arms come in. So I'm going to grab these two over here, bring them out, scale them in terms of Y. And then I'm also going to make a cut right there like this. So I hit K to select the knife tool, clicked on this point here, Control to select the midpoint of this face or this line, click there and there. That way we can work more with our chest. We have more and more complexity to it, like so. And I'm gonna do the same thing with the back, but starting from the middle of the neck, kind of give them a spine. All right. Then we can move this line out a bit. Yeah. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make the arms. So we're gonna extrude this out. Oh, that looks looking pretty good. Do say so myself. We're gonna scale the X to be 0. Yeah. All right. And I want it to be more of a cylindrical shape, so we're gonna do something like that. I'm gonna bring these back and scale it down because the arms kind of get like smaller as soon as like they come out. I feel like they're coming out big on the shoulders, but then a little bit less. This is like the shoulder pad bit, and this is the collarbone bit. All right. So let's see. Before we continue further with the arm, I'm gonna make like a little armpit. So I'm gonna select these points, and I'm going to extract down. No. I'm also going to select this point, I'm going to extract down. And then I'm going to scale the Z to be 0 afterwards. Sweet. And we're going to move these down along with these. Trying to give them some good curves. Alright, I'm gonna make these kind of curve down and a little out too. Make them a little buff-skiller, as they say in the industry. So a lot of this might just seem like me randomly selecting things to change. But I'm kind of thinking about it, trying to think like what'll make this mesh, this kind of just like mess of points look more like a person. All right, delete these two faces. So this is what we got right now. We'll give it a good look in case anyone's been lost from my past 5 minutes of random clicking. I think we're gonna scale this body up because I realized I made it pretty small relative to the head. I don't know if heads are that small or if bodies are that small in real life. So you can scale that up. But besides that, it's looking pretty good so far. So I'm going to hit Z, select the body and scale, and also G in the X. Yeah, it did the trick. All right. I'm going to select one line of this, select edge loops, and we're going to extrude out again to make the arms. We're going to make him kind of T-posing, because T-posing is actually a really useful way to model a person, because that way when we put bones inside them, they can move around in any direction. So the T-pose is when the arms are facing out, your elbows are ready to be like extended inwards, and they're kind of facing down. So I'm actually going to rotate this in the Y a bit, and G a little Z, and then extrude. So he's T-posing a little bit. Yeah. Alright. Scale that in the X. Nope, scale that in the Y and the Z. Everything but the X. Alright. I'm also going to start scaling these points in a little more. Okay, and then we're gonna do elbow time RX, RY. Okay, that's elbow time, I guess. We can add some edge loops there. We want more geometry, so it's gonna be able to bend easier when the time comes. Let's see, maybe scaling this down will be good. Do elbows? I guess elbows get a little thinner, so like, oh, that does not look good. I just realized I extruded straight out of the X. I should extrude based off of how it's been tilting so far, so it's kind of coming forward. So I'm gonna EX. Okay. Now I'll just redo all the things I was doing before. Alright, that looks a little better now. So like I was saying before, maybe scaling the little elbow loop cut in the Y will make it look better? Yeah. That's what an elbow is, right? Except for the other side of the elbow goes out, because that's like an elbow. Maybe. It kind of looks bad, but I'll keep it. Anyway, one thing I know for certain is that arms get lower. By lower, I mean smaller. The more they come in, because it's going to become a handy dandy hand. I'm actually also going to scale this whole bit down, like that. Not like that. Like that. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna leave the hands for another time. The way I usually tackle these sort of big modeling projects, which might not be a good habit, is that I do a bit. Like, for example, I did the torso, and then I did the arms, now I'm going back to the torso, I'm going to go back for the hands later. I don't like getting tired of working on one body part, so I like to mix it up. Anyway, this is just going to be a lot of extruding, so we're going to extrude. Let's see, do humans get slimmer? Do they get thicker? Do a little slim, a little slimmy. And I'm going to drag these points downwards, like so, like so. And we're gonna make him. I think we're gonna make him a little more beefy. He's gonna come out a little more. Get a little chub going on. There we go. Get that chub going. Hell yeah. Okay. These arms are so lanky. I want to scale them up, but I don't know if that's how arms work. Maybe this need to be longer. Who knows? We'll mess with it later. Okay. I think we're ready to extrude again. Yeah, right? The answer is yes. Actually, the answer is no. Actually, the answer is yes. Easy. Is not what this project is, but that's what the shortcut was. Alright, now there's a point where I think, because like I want it to curve like abs. I want this to be ab, like he's like a little turtle dude, kinda, except for not really. He's not a turtle dude, but abs are kind of like turtle shells. So you can see it kind of, I'm curving it like around. Maybe he's looking too turtly now. Can you look too turtly? Okay. It's looking okay. Maybe we'll bring these points down to go with that curve flow. He's got good armpits, at least. I know that for certain. How long is a person normally? Also, he's pretty fucking chubby. I might have scaled him up too much. Chubby in like this length. Oh well, we'll keep going. Select edge loops, extrude, Z, scale it, G and the X. Actually, I feel like this is the point where maybe he'll start turning around. You know, his legs coming out. He's got a little bit of a hips. Got like a hip situation going on. So we're not gonna scale him too much. He's going to, yeah, I'm gonna move these points back because they got kind of messed up in all my shenanigans. Yeah. She looking good. I'm actually gonna scale these arms up now. I'm gonna take the arm, scale up, GX. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at this dude. This dude-erino. Let's see. Maybe he's got two. Maybe I think his back should come out a little bit more as well. That's what we need. G and X, not G O Y. Yes. But like, I'm gonna not have these come in as much. He's gonna get a nice beefy butt. The butt's important, by the way, for the bones. Always include the butt. All right, extrude again, last time, before we split it off into the legs. He's so, I don't know, there's something I can't place, but he doesn't feel very right. Maybe he's too big in the X. I can fix that later. Everything can be fixed in post. All right, we reached the pivotal turning point. Here is the point in which we will now only extrude these bits, which will become the legs. And instead of extruding these bits, we'll put face, we'll put groin. Oh God. Looking good, I suppose. We want to make a nice cylinder out of all of these points. And to do that, what we're gonna do is this. Control R, loop cut, make 2 more points to make a legs out of. I want to make sure all of these are on the same Z, by the way. I don't know if they are. Yeah, they are. Okay. So we want to generally just start messing with these points to make them more, you know, leg-like. I know what we must do. I just realized we probably should control R once here, since we only have 1 point on the other side, so we can match like the 2 here with the 2 here. All right, we're gonna take a step back. So only 1 control R, and then these will scale in and move over, and these will move over a lot. This one will also move over a lot. How'd I mess up? Okay. Why are you over there? I want you over there. Move this one in. Move this one in. Move this one in. Let's see. How can we mess with this a little more? We'll bring you out, Yeah, I mean, it's okay for now. Oh, it's time to make a butt. So let's bring that out, and that out. Perfect. All right. So, leg time. As the legs happen, I'm going to make the little Give him a little hamstring. You know, like you do. I don't like how this point's sticking out. It's not how bodies work, I don't think. Except for maybe these points should be out a little more. I mean, it's not like... I really just want to stand up and look at what my lower stomach looks like. This does not look right. I mean, he's looking okay right now. I wouldn't say he's the worst looker. We're gonna do some improvements after we finish this initial modeling. The good thing about modeling is that you might mess it up the first time, but you can always just play around with what you made and see if you can fix it anyway. So I'm gonna do a lot of fixing with this guy. I hope that if you're following along, first of all, God help you, because this has been a mess of a tutorial. And second of all, I really hope yours is turning out better than me. Yeah, wait, how do hips work? They like go out. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give them hips. Like hips. No, it's a bad idea. No, it's a good idea. Like hips. We're gonna tone down the butt too. I think I went a little overboard on this butt. T-Shift-Z, move the butt in. All right. So we got legs start off like pretty freaking close to each other. So we're gonna go like, oh yeah, that's oh yeah. I'm also gonna, I don't want the legs to go just like straight down, so I'm going to G them an X with a lot of proportional editing. Proportional editing saves your life, by the way, when you're doing these kinds of models. Use it a lot. I gave him too much hips. Okay. There's just something about his upper chest. I just want to shrink it. I just want to shrink it and not look back. I'm going to do it. So I'm going to grab all these bits. I'm going to shrink it. And the X. I'm the Y. I'm the Z. Not the Z. I'm just going to move it a little on the X. Did that help? Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? We're going to keep going with these legs. So how does a leg work? Well, it starts off pretty thick in the middle. You got this thigh action going. Right? So we got thigh action going. Got the thigh action going. I think we're gonna have to do some serious messing with this inner body. Maybe cut it down a bit. All right. So let's keep going with the legs. I keep wanting to keep going with the legs, but then I go back to messing with this. Just like what? Get back here, points. I have a plan, but I'm going to execute that plan after I finish the legs. Ooh, does that look gross? Doesn't look that gross, actually. Honestly, this dude, he can use some work. I think we're gonna scale his legs in the Y. No, we're not. Yes, we are. Just a little bit. We're gonna give him a little bit of a knee. That we can like scale out a bit. mean, it's there's something here. We have something. All right, feet. Gonna extrude these three. Give them a nice G of a Y. Then we're going to extrude these three in the X, nope, in the Y, and see if we can, actually, we're just gonna extrude the very top one in the Y. How big is your feet in relative to your foot or your legs? I think your legs are a lot less thick than these, right? Woo, actually. Woo! Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Alright. Feet time. We're going to move this down. We are going to extend these points. And make a face here. And make a face here. And get rid of the face it made itself here, and move these lines out here by doing scaling in the X. Oh, he's got big feet. Not that big feet. They're a little big, but what are you gonna do? Easy. Make the face here. Bob. Make a face here. Bob, make a big old face here. Bob, scale Z0. Look at those feet. Look at those feet. Alright. Back to looking at this torso. I'm actually going to open up my previous attempt to see how it looked. So maybe we're not that off. I usually do 1 to 2 attempts for this. So, getting some behind the scenes action. Let's see, tutorial head. I just made him a lot thinner of a torso, didn't I? He was just looking a whole lot less torso than this man. I think I'm just gonna take his like whole legs, G them a Z with a whole lot of proportional edit. Actually, pro strat. I'm going to hide his upper torso and upper head. So that way, it will not be affected by proportional editing. So that way, when we take the legs and move them up and really squeeze his lower torso, and then unhide it, his upper torso was not changed at all. And look, that looks so much better. Kinda. A little bit. I'm going to look at myself really quick. Yeah, I'd say that's me. Once I fix some stuff. At this point. Kinda, you want to make sure everything has a natural looking curve to it. That's usually what I do when I'm just clicking around with points like this. I know I've been doing it a lot this tutorial without really saying why I'm doing it. But I'm just kind of looking for natural curves in the points to make it look more like humanish. Alright. Hand time. Let's see. We have a 6-pointed cylinder to work with. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to extrude in the X and G in the Z. And scale in the Z so that the points come closer together. Scale in the Y, but not the Z. Let's see. So this is the palm. So we're going to have some fingers sticking out, as you may well have guessed. This will be the thumb finger. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually just going to delete these 2 faces. I want to expand this point to be 2 points, so I'm going to E it in the X and G it in the Y, so it can be a face like so. And E that in the Y, so that there can be a face like so. whoa, a face like so, and a face like, whoa, a face like so. It looks kind of bad now, but the reason why I do this is I want each finger to be a square, like a series of squares. And so now when we extrude like so, voila, it's the thumb. Alright, so we got a thumb. Now we gotta get 5 more fingers. Yeah. Scale that thumb down. Alright. Well, as you can see on your hand, the thumb and the fingers don't really extrude at the same spot. I mean, like this kind of goes out for a bit, is what I'm saying. But not that much. I mean, there's just a little spot in between the thumb and the rest of the fingers. So I'm gonna finish up some faces. I didn't finish up the one closing out the thumb and the bottom, and I'll close up this rest. So really, I'm going to actually, let's see. This line comes way up because it's like the thumb one, and this line, these points, proportionally edited, are going to come up because that's what a hand looks like. Whop. Alright, so now we're gonna sprout out of this a couple of fingers. We'll do the same thing we did with the thumb. Whoa, did not mean to hit that. Do the same thing we did with the thumb, but with the pinky. So out of 1 point comes 2 points. And then do the same thing going. Oh my god, I keep hitting my trackpad even though I'm using a mouse, as you can probably hear because the mouse is right next to the microphone. But it keeps messing with the camera because it thinks I'm using 2 mouse inputs. Alright, so then this can become, where are my points? There are my points. This can become a finger, aka the pinky finger. Scale that in the Y, and then extrude it again. And it's going to be going downward dog. So we'll make it a wee bigger. Pinkies aren't that small. Oh, I didn't want to select those points. I want to select these points. Alright. Hell yeah. Pinky. Alright, just gonna close off. Actually, I'm gonna extrude it again. Close it off, all nice and neat. Alright, now we just gotta do that 3 more times. We're gonna hit Control R. Actually, we're just gonna cut it like that. So we got 1 a finger, 2 a finger, and 3 a finger if we just cut better. So we're cutting it in thirds, which means we can't really use that midpoint trick we were using before, so I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. We'll do the same thing for the back side. This is good too because it'll give us more geometry for our wrist, which definitely needs some geometry now because it does not look like our wrist. Now it looks like our wrist. It's looking super wristy. I don't want to mess with it too much. I actually don't like that line I put in the middle that much. I'm just going to delete that edge. Whoa. And remake the face that came from it. Oh, but the points are still there. Points, delete, vertices. Okay. Now that I'm finished cleaning up my flubs, we're going to make some fingers. Always be careful when you're extruding freehand in the 3D view because you might move in a different direction than you thought you were, and it's always a pain in the butt to fix because you thought you were going in one direction, you weren't, and yeah. Looks like he's got like clamps on the ends of his hands instead of fingers, but we'll fix it. Pinky's looking a little weird. I'm gonna scale the X to be 0. And just kind of move it like that. So it kind of looks like this thumb's just like, or this pointer finger's a little broken. Now he's a look better. I mean, which way does it go? Technically it has three knuckles, but I don't really want to do 3 knuckles because I only did 1 for the 2 knuckled thumb, so I feel like I'm just gonna -1. Alright. Anyway, we're gonna scale these points down in the Z to have a nice basis for our middle finger. And just to see what it's gonna look like in the end, I'm gonna extrude this one out to give us our last finger. Alright, so we are going to start messing around with these, make them look a little less bad. So, going to move, actually the wrist points back a lot. I don't know why these are like flying out at me. Alright. So we're going to extrude these out, scale, GZ, and face. Extrude these out, scale, face. And that's the hand, question mark? We're gonna fix the pinky a bit because it's currently the biggest finger, and pinkies are not the biggest finger if you look at your hand. That's perfect. Alright, now what we're going to do is, because fingers tilt in a bit, we're going to grab all the finger bits, move them in a bit, so he's kind of grasping for something. He's Mr. Graspy Fingers. He's also got really stubby fingers, which is pretty funny. I think I'm going to keep him like that though. Anyway, I'm going to Control K, cut a round like this to give more geometry to my wrist. Hitting Control, remember, to select the midpoints of all these. Twink. Yay. And that can help us because we want to make the wrist go in. GY it. Also, wrists get pretty freaking small, don't they? It's the smallest point in your arm. And this person most certainly did not have that. So I'm going to select that loop cut that I just made, scale it specifically in the Y and G it in the Y bit. And also scale it in the Z and rotate in the, oh, look how much more like a hand that looks now. Isn't that just something? There's just something about like modeling like something living that as soon as you do one thing, like me realizing that wrists are smaller, it just makes our hand look so much more like a hand. If only I can have that click with what making our torso look weird right now. Okay, so let's take a basis look. This is what our guy's looking like right now. It looks pretty good. I think I'm going to change the curves here a bit. And I'm also, to make them less bricky in the middle, I'm going to take all of these points and I'm going to move them in. So that way you see more of his, like, you know, like side. I feel like you see a lot of side on a person. A lot more than just like he looks pretty good right now. Honestly, I kind of like this dude. He's got really small hands. He's got funny feet. One thing you always want to do after you do a complex model like this is you want to hit W, remove doubles. What that does, if there's points within a distance of whatever this merge distance is, it'll get rid of them. So for example, if I accidentally like extruded his face again and now there's two faces where this face is, if I remove doubles, it removed 4 vertices, it got rid of those doubles. So that's really useful if you forgot, like you accidentally extruded and didn't change, didn't actually do anything with the extrusion. It would normally make your shaders all weird, but now it wouldn't. So in case you did do that, that is how you fix it. So we got our person. Not the best, but usually it takes me around a week to model something like this, and I just did that in however long this video is. So hopefully you followed along as best as you could. It's probably better just to get the ideas of this video and then actually model based on your own thoughts, and maybe definitely use a render, an image based. I didn't because I'm dumb, but especially for something living, it's always a good idea to have a reference image, which I showed you how to do before. So no excuse not to. So we got our person now. He's very big relative to the rest of the world, but we're going to next up put some bones on him, which means we'll have objects that control the rotation of his arms and his legs, and so we can put him in any pose we want, and so he'll be posing next to the tree for our final render instead of just standing in T-pose. So until then, good luck making your person, and I'll see you next time.